What the fuck is going on, my demons? It is time. I am here with the legendary doom metal vocalist of Candlemass, Solitude Aeternus, and a whole host of other amazing projects that he is currently working on, Robert Lowe. So this is what I want you all to do for me right now. I want you to share this everywhere into every group. I don't care where. Everyone needs to see this. So share it the hell out. And before we get started, we're going to take a quick commercial break to my brothers over at Poison Valley Clothing in the UK. So check that shit out right now. Allahu Akbar! That's right. Custom horror designs. Very high quality and can literally make any design that you want. Fast shipping. Very low price. Get that shit right now. Check them out at Poison Valley Clothing on Facebook. All right. How are you doing tonight, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself there?
I'm doing fantastic. We got the legendary doom metal vocalist Robert Lowe with us tonight, and we're just going to kind of just dive deep down into this amazing career that you have. And man, there is no signs of slowing down for you. So
no, not at all.
as I understand it,
you can't shut them, man. You know, that's all there is to it.
That's right.
Take on everything. Open them floodgates and let it go.
Most deaf. Welcome, Todd, out in the comment section, and everybody that's coming in right now. If you missed it already, please make sure you share this everywhere. Okay. So as I've been just kind of going through a bunch of your different interviews in the past and stuff, and so I was didn't know that you actually started out as a guitar player. So what made you pick up the guitar?
Well, it just so happens when, I was little. First things first, started 5th grade, or I was 5. Mom sent me off piano lessons, right? So I did that quite a while. Grow up a little bit. You hear your first Kiss album, 78. And the next thing you know,
I think we all did that, you know?
And you go, shit, that's what I want to do, play guitar. And so I got my first guitar and amp, some pawn shop somewhere in Fort Worth. Probably paid all 40, but well, I didn't. Mom paid probably all $40 for the thing, guitar and amp, and that's just kind of where that started. And that, that was the beginning of playing guitar. And sit there and self-taught. Just went from there. Never thought.
Man, it's like I always say, anyone that can self-teach themselves the guitar, I mean, you've got ability, because I have tried in the past, before I settled on the drums, and can't do it. Not with these sausage fingers.
Yeah, it's a labor of love, man.
Absolutely. So from there, you kind of just started some of your own bands and stuff, or
do what now?
So you ended up starting to do some getting into bands and stuff once you was learning the guitar.
Yeah, once I started playing guitar, one of the first things I did was I got a buddy of mine there, and his mom had got him drums for Christmas, and we had been. By this time, we're in high school. I think ninth grade it was, and he could play. I could play, and I thought I could sing. So we decided to play. We learned how to play "Number of the Beast" for our
Nice
high school. So, but it was just me on guitar and a drummer and me singing. That's all it was. But yeah, that was super cool. So that was like first taste of being on stage. Number of the Beast and vocals, and it was like this it, man. Because you figure you're ninth grade, freshman year, high school talent show. You know what's going on. You know what kind of stuff's going on. We come out and do that, and I was like, this is it. And it went from there. And I think my first band was called The Holy. Another buddy of mine out there, Boyd, Texas, where I grew up. And he was a few years older than me, and he was, into music, and we started talking, and we just kind of started a band called The Holy, because we were into punk. We were listening to Channel 3, Government Issue, Who's Do, name it, the 1980 type of, I guess you would call it punk, listening to stuff like that. It's like, yeah, man, let's put something together. So he found a bass player, and we found Lowe at that time. Well, I think we were at a, the hell show was it? I think it was Dead Kennedys. I think we were at a Dead Kennedy show. Now, I may be wrong about that. But I think it was at Dead Kennedys, Channel 3, something like that. And we're just hanging out in the parking lot, and I was over by the car, and got Daryl comes up with the guy, Lyle, the guy, and he's like, hey, man, this is Lyle. He said he plays drums. He wants to come play in the Holy, because, we were still putting this together. And so, lo and behold, Lyle comes out to Boyd, which for these people was like an hour drive from like Fort Worth, from Euless, from that area up to Boyd. So they come in on the weekends, and we jam. We ended up doing a few shows in Dallas when Deep Ellum was not even Deep Ellum yet. It was just a couple of empty industrial buildings where a few bands played, and we opened up for, who did we open up for? I think we did open up for Government Issue, Channel 3. I think we opened up for Who's Could Do. There was another one. I'll be damned if I can't remember who it is, but we played a few shows down there. I still wasn't old enough to get in. I had to sneak in the back to get into the bar so I could play. Because I think at that time,
that's before they kick you out after they figured out you were underage.
Yeah, right.
They were a little more lenient back then, I think.
I mean, come on, man. It was a punk bar, industrial. I mean, I think it was like you were playing on pallets, and there was like a stage, or a sheet of plywood on some cinder blocks or something. And that was the stage. And it just kind of went from there. And then from there, went to me and Lyle stayed together. The other couple of dudes, the other guy that played bass for us, Kelly and Daryl, they went off to college. And since we were the youngins, we were still, in high school and whatnot. And so once kind of got through high school, once got done with that, and I moved into town, me and Lyle started up a band called Graven Image together. And I played guitar and sang. So, yeah, it was, Graven Image. It was, we were listening to, Metallica, Merciful Fate, King Diamond, Fate's Warning, stuff like that. So that, obviously that influenced kind of the way we wrote. It was hard. I'd say that, I'd say Graven Image was kind of a mix between Fate, Merciful Fate, and Fate's Warning. It was along those lines, kind of the technical 500 different riffs, but heavy and raw, like fake stuff like Melissa and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Lots of time changes and
Do what now?
like lots of time changes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. We probably did way more than we needed to, But
I mean, they were just famous for doing that.
It's still getting our feet
yeah,
wet, Well,
me and the King, we go way back.
Do it now. For some reason, I'm getting static from your end.
You know what's kind of interesting about that? I was actually going to say that as well. I'm getting it from your end. So what I'm going to try to do real quick is I'm going to back out, come back in, and see if that fixes the problem. So give me 1 second, everybody out there.
Yeah, no worries, man. I was going to try to, push through it, but I can't hardly hear you.
I understand. 1 second, brother. How about now?
No, it's still there.
All right. So what I'm going to have you do real quick is just back out real fast and then just come back in the same way you came in the first time.
All right. So you want me to just leave? Get out of here, you mother. Get on.
And just
all right.
All right. So real quick, while we're fixing this little bit of an audio issue, we're going to take a quick commercial break to the awesome Villain Arts tattoos. Check it out. All right. While we're waiting for Robert to come back on, we're just fixing a quick little bit of an audio issue that we sometimes get with cell phones. So no worries on that. He will be right back. But if Villain Arts Tattoo comes to your area, definitely get out there. Check out the artists. Anything from Ink Master to, some of your local favorites, as well as artists all around the country, around the world. Welcome back, Robert. Let's give it a shot.
Sounds better now, as far as I can tell. I don't know about me. There you go.
It's that sometimes that's all it takes. You never know what you're gonna fucking get with StreamYard sometimes.
I guess not, man. Because like I said, I was just gonna sit here and pretend it wasn't happening, but there ain't no way I was gonna do that much longer because I can hear a damn thing you were saying. You sound like a damn robot.
And that's what I was getting also. So that's why I thought I would check my connection first just to see if it was on my end. But that's all right. We got it fixed now. That's all that matters. So you were kind of taking us through a little bit of how you got started. We got a couple of comments out here for you.
Yeah, sure. Let's go. I'm not much of a talker, so bring it on.
Absolutely.
Now, I say that. And then once I get started on something, and if I run into a story, you're going to be like, dude, we got to go, man. We've been talking about this for the last 5 hours. You're going to have to shut up.
Hey, we're going to take however long it takes tonight. Yeah. He says, I remember the first time that I listened to Into the Depths of Sorrow during the early winter of 1992. I was blown away by your vocals and what sounded like Candlemass and a mixture of Master of Puppets by Metallica.
Oh, I ain't never heard that before.
And I kind of made that distinction as well. There's definitely the elements are there.
Yeah.
But I still kind of felt, though, that your voice was way more original, I guess. Not like you sounded like somebody else per se. It's just you
Oh,
had
right,
your
right.
own
Yeah. And I
entity.
mean, we
You know
all
what I
had
mean?
such a varied musical background too. I mean, there's just so many freaking elements coming together between, the five of us at that time. Just so much.
Mm.
But it worked out, man. We, ironed it out a little bit. So anyway, go on with what you're saying.
So my next thought was, so at what point did you realize that you had a voice, or were you singing backups for some of those bands before you got into Solitude Aeternus?
No. It's like I was saying with Graven Image. Basically it was like the Holy. Well, my high school farting around stuff, and then the Holy, and I didn't want to sing. Hell with that. I just want to play guitar, like told you. And then we decided, I moved and he moved and they moved, and then me and Lowe kind of ended up in the same part of in between Fort Worth, Dallas, and the Metroplex there. And we were like, man, why aren't we playing? And I was like, yeah, I just bought a BC Rich. And I'm like, yeah, I got to show this off to somebody. So we started playing, and it's like, it was me and him sitting, in the bedroom in an apartment somewhere there in Euless, Texas, or Irving. Was it Irving? Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Writing stuff, and I'd write licks and he'd write lyrics, and we get together, and it's kind of where we started that whole Merciful Fate, Fate's Warning thing. I think it was the word fate that kind of made us pick it, because it was Fate's Warning, Merciful Fate. Started writing stuff because I was listening to more of, I guess, Merciful Fate, and actually during that time too, I was discovered Trouble, and so that's kind of where my brain was. And Lyle was listening to other stuff, obviously. So Graven Image became a culmination of basically the heavier underground stuff at the time, at the late 80s. Late or mid 80s, actually, 86, 87. And so it's like, and there it was again. Well, who's going to sing? Well, fuck. I guess I will. All right. Why not? And I mean, that was my attitude at the time. It's not an egotistical thing. It's just like, I was like, fuck, I'll do it just so we can play. And we ended up being a three-piece because Lyle played bass at the time. I played guitar and sang, and then we had a drummer, and we just wanted to get out there. So that's what we did. We were a heavy metal prog rock trio, type of thing. And that's what we did. We actually played a couple of shows with Graven Image too. We have a full-length VHS tape somewhere floating around. If somebody knows where it is, I wouldn't mind seeing it. I have seen it. It's pretty cool. But so that's kind of where that went. But I still didn't want to be a vocalist. It's like, it's not what I want, man. By this time I've been playing, I've been buying gear, and it's like, bam, you discover Ingve. It's like, that's what I want to do. I'm going to be an Ingve. That's where I'm headed. We're going to sit down. That's what we're going to do. And it didn't work out that way. I mean, I'm still good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll call Ingve right now and say, come here. You want to trade some licks?
After the so many odd, interesting interviews I've heard him give, I'm sure he'd have a lot to say.
I know, right? Yeah, nah. Well, it's funny because I kind of know a few things, being in Candlemass and stuff too. But
oh yeah.
But where was I going with this? So anyway, so I did it, and short and sweet, I guess. Was Lyle met John Perez at UTA here at college, where we were all going to college. I hadn't started going to UTA yet, but they were, so they met up. They had Gabe Hart as vocalist at that time, and for whatever reason, he left. I don't know any of this. I'm still sitting back at the house going, what happened to Graven Image? What the hell? And so Lyle's hanging out with JP, and, then Gabe Hart quits, and basically Lyle, I don't know if he quit. I don't know what happened, but, and, I get a call, and Lyle's like, hey, man, I met this dude, John, and da-da-da, and, doom metal, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, cool. I love Trouble. Da-da-da. And he's like, you should come out, and it's like, yeah, it's good. We don't need a guitarist. We already have two. I was like, well, what do you want me to do? He goes, we want you to sing. Damn it! What the hell? Here, let me go buy my gear from
Like,
you.
that's not what the fuck I'm trying to do. Why you guys keep wanting me to sing? Obviously, you made an impression.
Everybody keeps sticking a damn mic in front of my face. But so went out there and I'm like, yeah. And they gave me that first demo, with Where Angels Dare and Sojourner and stuff like that. And it was like a 5-song demo. And I was like, here, learn these songs. And I'm like, all right, cool. I was digging the music. I was like, hell yeah. And but at the time, I'm like, well, how am I supposed to sing this? Because I'm not going to sing like this dude. And I don't even know where to start. How to sing? Where? What am I going to do? Am I going to sound like? Do I want to sound like Bruce? Do I want to sound like Dio? Do I want to sound like Hank Williams? I mean, what am I going to do? And so I just got up in there and just kind of did this, and that's pretty much where that started. Like I said, the short and sweet of it. That's the Cliff Note versions right there.
Right.
So that was it. Although the guitar didn't stop, though. I mean, me and JP used to sit and noodle. A lot of the stuff that's in Solitude is, well, Edgar and John and me. And a lot of times me and John would go up there early and sit down. I'd grab one of Edgar's guitar and we'd hash shit out before the other guys got there. So guitar playing never stopped. It just didn't get put on stage.
Right.
I mean, and a lot of times, I play guitar in the studio. A lot of people don't even know a lot of the stuff that maybe they're hearing is me playing guitar.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's not really there. It's not written. Like, Rob played this, did that. Yeah, there's like a couple songs like I'm Some May, Some May Not, but like off Adagio, Empty Faith, and Personal God. I played everything except the drums.
Wow.
All of it. The only thing I did not play was the drums. So all that was recorded. I recorded all that. It was like we were in England and working on Adagio, and I had written those 2 songs. And it was like lunch break, and the guys took off. And I just stayed back with Paul Johnston, who was the engineer at the time. And so we had the studio to ourselves. So while they were off eating, drinking, I don't know what the hell they were doing. Don't matter to me. We laid those tracks down, and I think we had the studio blocked for 2 weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks, and during that time, Cove just laid down the drums behind it, which is a very ass backwards way to play, but did. And so all of it, all the instruments, obviously lyrics, but nobody knows I played all the guitars, all the EBO stuff, all of it, keyboards. A lot of that stuff is I do, just nobody knows. Now you do, maybe, if you're listening. What I said was,
they do now. Consider
was,
yourselves lucky out there in Black Flame Land, getting a fuck ton of knowledge that you never fucking knew. See, that's what I love about the underground. You just never know what you're going to learn.
I guess not.
You played all these instruments and you're basically self-taught at everything, right?
Yeah, that would be correct, sir.
And who would have thought that you had this fucking amazing voice, the range? I mean, it's right up there with, Ronnie James Dio for me. When I think of my top favorite vocalists of all time, you're in my top 4. So.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much.
Man, absolutely. So, question out here. Okay, Todd says, Into the Depths of Sorrow is one of my favorite albums of all time. Vocals blew me away. Can you still sing those early songs today with the same vigor and power?
Well, I guess we're going to find out in Houston. We do the show. I would say yes, that I'm capable. Would I be able to do those songs on an extended 6 nights a week, hour and a half every night? Probably not. I wouldn't want to. I just, but yeah, I mean, for shows like this, I mean, yeah, it's. I don't even think twice about it. It's not going to be an issue. Just leave it at that. It's not going to be an issue.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not even. I can only imagine. I wish I could come to that festival, which we'll talk about in a little bit here, since you guys are getting back together for that. Um, let's see, one more thing. Oh, okay. Todd says, for me, nothing comes close to your vocals for Into the Depths of Sorrow and Beyond the Crimson Horizon. I immediately loved them more than Rob Halford, Messiah, James LeBrie, and Dio. Wow.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate them words. That's
Definitely your biggest fan.
appreciate
For
that.
sure. Oh man. So
Thank you.
and he mentioned, when Solitude Eternus got signed for the first time, like, what was that moment like when you guys had realized that you had gotten picked up?
Well, it was really kind of chaotic, man, because little unknown label. Again, I usually don't take a lot of interest in stuff like that. Never have, never will. But John hooked up with King Classics, I think it was, out of Chicago. And they signed or wanted to sign us, and it did. And we're like, okay, well, that's cool. Well, what's next?
I mean, sure,
And
at that point, no one really knew what the process was.
no, I mean, we're still kids, right? And when you jump into this world, you don't know what the hell to expect. It's only through living it that you find stuff out and you understand. It's like, that's one of those typical things. If I knew what I knew now back then, and I'm not saying it in a bad way, it's just that that process of going from playing in the garage to fixing to do what you're fixing to do, what might have approached it a little different. But anyway, so they signed us, and we just don't hear from the guys for like forever, right? It's like, the hell, are we doing anything? Can we do anything? Fuck it, John. Let's go record. I don't give a damn about these people. Let's just go do something. Well, we got this and that and contracts and okay. So now we signed, and now we're just sitting here. Well, for whatever reason they dissolved, and that's when our road racer picked us up. And that was a really positive thing. It was a good thing because once Roadrunner picked us up here, that's when things really started happening. That's when we started touring. That's when we, got on the road with Fate and, they actually did things, and we actually got money to go to the studio and this and that. And so, it was a good thing. The whole King Classic thing fell apart when it did. So I don't know. I mean, it was exciting. I'm not one to get really excited, so I can't say that I was like jumping up and down and be like, "Yeah, my God, we're gonna be rock stars." It was like, cool. All right, now what?
It's like, sure, it's everybody wants the dream until it happens. Especially at that time when you guys got started in the early '90s, and you're like, so shit, we're here now. So what do we do?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and so record the album, and then you wait. I mean, because at that point in time, you've got Roadrunner, and we've never had management either, so that didn't help either. We never had management. Everything we did on our own. So we didn't have anybody watching our back.
I almost think that's the best way to go about it.
Huh?
I said, I almost think that's the best way to go about it.
Well, when you don't know crap, and I don't know, might have been good if we did or didn't, but but once we started doing stuff and Roadrunner started hooking us up with touring acts, it was cool. It was good.
So what was that first tour like?
The first tour, let's see, 40 Common
Like, who'd they pair you up with?
Huh?
Who did they pair you up with?
The very first tour we did was with Killers, Paulie Allen's band. Yeah, that was the first one. I think that was 8 weeks. We did 8 weeks in a Ford Econoline stretch. 6 of us, 5 band members, and one of our buddies who was the driver merch guy.
Right.
And you got
the guy that would work
guys.
for beer.
Well, the first thing we did before we hit the road was we met up at Sureguard where we rehearsed, and backed up the van, took all the fucking seats out of it. It took every one of those fucking bench seats out of it. We're out there, ratchet, taking them out, get them out, you know. So took all the seats out. That tour was an ass beating. It was because, like I said, you know, you got 5 guys, you got some of your gear, you got clothes and suitcases for 5 guys for 8 weeks, all trying to put it in one space. Yeah, and so that was tough. Didn't really, and when you're following like Killers, and they've got their buses and whatnot, you know, you don't stop. You know, nobody stops. We got to just keep going. Okay, you can stick with them. What was it? That tour or was it the Fate tour? Shit, I don't remember. But might have been the Fate tour, which was like the next year. But we were in the van. Yeah, no, the Fate tour, we actually had an RV. It was the Killers tour. So you ask what it's like. You're following the guys. We've never even been on the road. We don't know what we're doing. So we're just like, okay, let's go, you know. So you can't stop when you want to. And, you know, you got 5 guys either drinking Gatorade or drinking coffee. Somebody's got to pee and this and that. Could never stop. So one time we stopped. Here's a story for you. We stopped wherever it was. Truck stop somewhere. It don't matter. Mm-hmm. I'm like, fuck this, having to go to the bathroom all the time and not being able to. So what I did, I've got pictures of it somewhere. I went in there and bought a transmission funnel. The funnel, and got the long ass bendy tube thing for, you know, transmission funnel, not just a regular oil funnel, but transmission.
Uh-huh.
And in the back corner where we had taken out one of the seats, where the bolts were, there was a hole to the outside world. And so what I did was I fashioned the funnel to the wall in the back corner and put the hose outside, taped it up, and wrapped it up so you could go to the back and take a piss if you needed to while we were driving. Which was, you know, that was always fun because you got the back windows and you obviously have to be on your knees to do it. You can't stand up in there. So you're on your knees and you're just kind of sitting there, just looking out the back window, waving, hey, how y'all doing? What's up? And I have no idea what's going on. One of the best ones was where, one of the first times the toilet got tested, the car behind us, we're driving along. Next thing you know, you can see their windshield wipers start going like this. So, yeah, we were living large, man. That was fun. Just that's the kind of shit that happens, man. I don't care.
Absolutely.
I've had shit like that happens all the time, man. I don't care what level you're at. It's always the same. And then I've been through so many levels of this that it's always the same. You're stuck in a damn bus somewhere. You're in a hotel. You're stuck in the rain. The venue's not open. You're standing. It doesn't matter who you are. It's just it never changes. The beauty side of it. Oh, and you're sleeping on top of each other. We even had this one spot in that Ford Econoline behind the driver's seat that wasn't quite packed with gear, so you could actually kind of sit up like this. Now this was comfortable like this, right? So we rotated that spot every hour so people could actually sit up and be comfortable. So it's like, you know, that was the good boy spot. If you're good, you can sit here. You get the good boy spot.
Oh man, I can remember doing something very similar, but ours was like one of those little mini, you know, the short bus, one of those old school short buses, and pretty much had to come up with something similar as far as the bathroom was concerned. I mean, luckily, you know, we had GPS, so if we had to stop, we had to stop. But if we couldn't, you know, and somebody had to go real bad, it's like there's a bucket in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly why I wanted to do what I did. So nothing stayed, you know, and we kept a bottle of water beside that. So you could just you flush, you know, there you go. Flush. You can make the noise if you want to and pour the water in there.
Oh, I love it. Everybody out there in Black Flame Land, if you got questions for Robert, please put them in the comment section. We will get them answered. So where up? Actually, one just popped up as I said that. That's fantastic. Shirov Shirokova. Oh, hopefully I said that right. Probably butchered the fuck out of it, but that's all right. I just want to say thank you. Many of your songs have made a really deep impact in my life and have been with me in troubled and dark times.
Well,
And they go on to say the first time I listened to Alone, I was struggling with a lot of issues, and that album gave me the strength to keep going on. Holy fuck. That's got to feel good.
yeah, the strength to go on. Actually, people ask a lot about lyrics, and that album itself is very personal. I don't just make up lyrics. I'm not talking about Dungeons and Dragons and this and that and rock and roll and
I was going
beer
to ask you.
Huh? No.
I didn't think it was any of that stuff. Everything is just so heartfelt,
that like the Alone album came at a point in my time too, to where maybe, I don't know, maybe the darkness could be shared because, it's not always a good place. And that's where the lyrics for that album came from. And it's not bad. It's just that I think it's relatable on a different level. If you, especially if you're there now, listening to it 24/7 anyway is great. But I think maybe with some songs, it's that way with anybody, man. People can connect with just about any song. I don't care what it is, what genre it is. You can connect with it in a way that maybe the guy sitting next to you doesn't get it. And that's what I want for people. When I write what I write and the lyrics, I want anybody to be able to either just listen to it or read it and get what they get from it on their own personally. It's not a blanket. This is for everybody. It's rock and roll party all night. That, it's not a blanket. It's everybody who reads this is going to get something personal from it on their own outside of their buddy sitting next to them. And
absolutely.
That's what I want. I want everybody to take their own thing away from it.
And I mean, that's something that I always feel is sorely needed, in doom metal, because you get so many like occult laden lyrics, and I mean, some of it's obviously relatable, or especially if you read a lot of H.P. Lovecraft or something like that. But but just good heartfelt songs that other people can go, yeah, I felt that way. I feel this like on almost a spiritual level. So that's especially at a time where doom metal was in such a weird place, like that whole decade of the 90s.
Right. Yeah,
you guys were fucking killing it, just all the way around, sound, composition, and lyrical content.
Yeah, I guess. I thank Trouble for that. I remember the first time I heard Trouble, me and my cousin went down to that Sound Warehouse. If anybody remembers the Sound Warehouse, and bought Metal Massacre. I'm not even going to give a number because I can't remember which one it was. It's Metal Massacre or something. 1, 2, 3, 16, 12. I don't know. The last song on side 2 was Trouble, and it was Last Judgment. And me and my cousin had listened to the whole, side A all the way through, side B all the way through, and typical of the mid 80s metal, on there, and that's cool. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. And then boom, man, last song hit, and it was like a light bulb just went off. I'm like, that's it. That's what I'm doing. So that's what I'm doing, man. Thank you, Trouble, for showing me the light. I saw the light on this country song. Anyway,
that's okay. I mean, you had bands like Down, you had Pantera going on. They were starting to get big. Typo Negative was just coming into their own
there during the 90s, but then like stuff like Pantera and other stuff just kind of went, sorry, and went, that out of the way, move, scoot over. And Doom just kept trying to, come on, we're here, man, we're here, hey, what up? No.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys soldiered the fuck on, and there's nothing like doom metal loyal, fans. Like,
oh, for sure, definitely,
they are unrelenting.
100%. I don't say that lightly. I mean, I agree with you wholeheartedly 100%. It is, truly is, man. I mean, it's an honest attachment. That sounds weird, but it's an honest attachment. You know what I mean?
For
Or I
sure.
hope somebody knows what I mean, because I don't.
That's all right. We got you. We got you 1,000%. Real quick, Judas chimes in with, hey, Rob, looking forward to Hell's Heroes next year. Was wondering if you all were planning to have the classic on stage theatrics. That's interesting. That was actually something I was going to touch upon. So thank you for that, Judas.
Well, I mean, I don't think we really ever were theatrical unless I'm missing something in the question.
He was saying like the priest costume and all.
Oh, yeah, no. I think the priest costume was kind of a one-off in Poland when we did that recorded live show. It was something that I was just kind of farting around with, and we just happened to do that show in Poland, and I thought, yeah, I don't know. Ding ding. Hey, if Judas is there or whatnot, and he sees it, hey, that's up. I don't know. And I honestly hadn't thought about that because we've never really been, I guess, theatrical so much. Never been a lot of stage props. We had a few stage props in our day when we did a tour with Savior Machine overseas. I had built some candelabras to take, and then we had like some gargoyle statues and things like that, but never really a whole lot of on stage stuff for that matter.
For doom metal, you get one of the two extremes. Either it's a lot of theatrics, like a lot of lights, a lot of smoke, maybe like some headstones or some shit, lots of skulls, right. Or they got like these electric screens behind them that are like constantly showing different stuff during the performance. So I don't know. That's one of the cool things about you guys is that, you kind of created that environment just by being there without having to do much. I actually think that's even cooler sometimes.
Yeah. Like I said, we really didn't ever do a whole lot. I mean, there were a few things here and there, but I don't know, maybe it's because we were just lazy.
I don't know. When I got into doom metal back to actually do it, professionally, for me, I just wanted to do something different, something that, most doom metal bands, especially the last, let's say 10, 12 years, don't really do. And of course I got the horror thing going on. I do like a lot of, I do some indie acting here and there and stuff. So I kind of blended this character that I had created years ago and started just doing like the face paint thing. Everyone always thinks it's corpse paint, but it's not.
It's not, right?
Nope. It's very different. It's not your run of the mill, this or that, mayhem, whatever. It's just something that it's like my darker side. So it's like I play a character at all times. So that's why I've done that. But that's about as far as I take it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the most I ever did on stage was black fingernails, maybe some eyeliner. I think, in Graven Image, we would, I wouldn't say like the Misfits. It was very subtle. We would like thick theatrical, like white powder, and then like, just ash in the cheekbones. You know what I'm saying? I think that we did that in Graven Image a few times. And that was because I was a huge Misfits fan too. So I kind of see how that got in there. But like I said, it was more subtle. It was more of a heavy white powder with some just type of thing,
Just kind of give you a little bit of a deadish look.
Yeah.
So did you? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said, and it was easy, just and then done.
I don't know. I got my shit so down pat now. It takes me less than 15 minutes. It's like, boom, done, ready to go.
I hear
Let's
you.
do it.
Yeah.
So how did Candlemass happen? How did that come about?
Well, let's see. I'll just take you through the short and sweet. We were in the process of and or had just finished recording Alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where my brain was. And yeah, we I think we had just finished it, or we just finished it that week or
Wow.
something. And now I'm probably getting it all wrong, but that's where it sits. It sits like this.
Sure.
Doing Alone done. I'm at work. I get a call, and an acquaintance of mine is like, dude, man, did you hear? I'm like, no, probably not. I'm at work. Uh, and yeah, Messiah left Candlemass again. And I was like, okay, thanks. What do you want me to do? Dude, they're looking
Right.
for a singer. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. I hope they find someone. And they were like, no, you should do it. I'm like, hell no. I said, well, first of all, I know Candlemass don't want me, and we just finished Alone, man. We're probably gonna hit the road with this, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. And they were like, I'm gonna email this little group thing they got and let them know you're interested. I said, do whatever you want to do, man. That's fine with me. I don't, knock yourself out. And I shit you not, it was like that later that evening. Well, they saw that you wrote, and they want you to do it. What? When? Like now, they've already got the album King of the Grey Islands is written and recorded. Just so it was like 2 weeks later, after recording Alone, I talked to Leif on the phone. I hadn't talked to anybody else. Talked to Leif for a couple hours one night, and because of the time difference, 7-8 hours depending on the time of year,
Yeah.
he would send me the material. Same. I didn't even break down the studio where I was recording Alone. The booth was still set up from recording Alone. I still used the same engineer to record my vocals for King of the Grey Islands. That did Alone. It was just like dink dink, and so I do a track and send it to him, and because the difference, he'd have time to hear it, and then I'd get up to the studio, and basically he was like, "Yeah, that was good. Why don't you do that chorus twice?" Okay. We did a couple of songs like that. And then after that, he pretty much just said, well, you got it. Just knock it out. And then that's what happened. Done. Bam. King of the Grey Islands finished. I think I did that. I think I knocked that out in a week. I think we had a week for that. And it just went from there. So, yeah,
Did you
completely unexpected. But it was like, it's totally cool, too. Like I said, fucking my boost was still set up from recording Alone.
fucking hell? It's like, how does that even happen?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Because I was looking at the years and stuff, between Solitude and Candlemass with the records that you're on, and it's like, damn, that shit happened like really fast.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah,
so,
real fast. And I know for a fact that even Tony Martin tried out Candlemass.
Why am I not surprised?
That would have been a good fit, because I was like, well, they don't want me. Apparently, they did. Tony Martin didn't get the gig.
Nothing against Tony Martin.
I love Tony Martin. I love the Tony Martin Sabbath era. People have their rathers on that one way or the other.
Right. I enjoyed those albums. I thought the Headless Cross, Tear was a fantastic album.
Yeah, it was great. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, because the guys in CMAS were telling me, yeah, we had Martin try out, just the week before you. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Okay, great.
It's like, yeah, I'll just stick that in my back pocket. I got over on Tony, Yeah.
And then I think the first show we ever did was that Candlemass 20th anniversary thing, and
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had everybody there, and so I mean, I'm sitting up there hanging out with Tony Martin, and he did. Which one did he do? I think he. I think they played the song he used to audition with. I think it was either Bewitched or was it White Dwarf? I forget. So he was there and sang the song that. Well, I hate to use the word audition. It's Tony Martin, but I don't know how else to say it. That's the track he sent them.
That he tried out on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's what he did at the 20th anniversary show. So that was cool. I mean, hell, I didn't care about anything. I was hanging out with Tony Martin, man. With him and his wife, and we're just sitting up there shooting shit, and went out for Indian food. And I'm a fanboy. That's all I am. I just going, damn, man, it's Tony Martin. Fuck. Yeah, I'll go eat some Indian food. Oh yeah, let's go. Fuck yeah.
Totally surreal as fuck. It's like once you get up to that level, suddenly, you get treated different, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess so.
The problem with Tony Martin, I always kind of felt, though, is that the Sabbath fans always judged every vocalist on how they sang those classic songs from like 1970 to 79.
Yeah.
And I guess they just didn't like the way he did it.
Something like Sabbath, I mean, they've had great singers all the time. I mean, well, when I say great singers, I mean, Ozzy era Sabbath was just, well, there you go. That's all there is to it.
Right.
And then you have Dio, and then you have Martin, and they're all great. And they're all great where they fit in with what they do. So it's just, you can't really just one way or another who's the best. I mean, one's technically better, one has more feeling, one has this. It just depends on what you're looking for as an individual. So you may go, well, I just like Ozzy's feeling, or I like, Tony's technicalities, and I like the way Dio just gets up there and owns the motherfucker and makes it evil and blah. It's like, it just depends on what attracts you, which vocalist is the best. If you don't like any of this, then this can be your favorite. So, it's tough. That's tough because they've had good vocalists the whole time. I mean, it's just like with Candlemass. Leif has always had good frontmen. And I'm not talking about myself. I don't give a fuck about me. I'm talking about, Thomas Bergstrom and Messiah and Johan, who's doing it now. They're all great, but they're all different. But they're all great. I mean, you could pick up any one of your Candlemass albums and still love them all, But you're still gonna gravitate towards one. But they're all great. So always had good vocalists. So,
and you definitely made your mark on those records. What was your favorite Candlemass record to do?
Oh, my favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that one's hard. I mean, I was talking with my manager earlier, and I was telling her, that's a hard question to answer because I might be listening to, let's just say, King of the Grey Islands this week. And I'm like, fuck, yeah, this is great. This song, I love this song. Man, I forgot about that song. Fuck, I love this shit. And then 2 weeks from now, I put on, Psalms or Death Magic Doom. And I'm like, fuck, no. This one, man. This one's the shit, So it's hard. It's really hard to.
It's got to be.
It is, because I like all of them. I like all the songs. And again, there you go. They're all different. Like what I think King of the Grey Islands was more guttural, more ballsy, more raw, and it kind of we got the Death Magic Doom, kind of cleaned it up a little bit, and then Songs for the Dead, it's just there was a progression, but then, like I said, I'll put on King of the Grey Islands and maybe Edgar Gray, and I'm just like, damn, man, that's fucking ballsy. And then like, Doom, Hammer of Doom, put that one on. It's just like laid back, heavy Doom, and then it gets to the chorus. It's like, nah, that's the shit. It's like, all right, I give up, man. They're all good. I'm just gonna say it's all good.
For sure. I mean, and we love every last one of them, especially everyone tuned in tonight as well. Dante Lira has a question for you. Any tips on getting into the scene? 30 now. I want to tour full time as a bassist for a metal band. by 40, I'm assuming is what he's saying here. Only thing I'm aware for finding musicians, which is hit or miss, is Craigslist. I don't know. I've heard of personally me, Dante. I've had some success with Craigslist, but I think he's
Well,
trying to ask you where's a good place to find the right people.
I guess it's your circle of people because everybody I've ever uh, hooked up with was always been like my friends, like Lyle, and then Lyle knew somebody, or Lyle knew JP, or JP knew so and so, and Edgar had a buddy, and I guess it just was luck when it comes to something like that. Now, I can imagine Craigslist would be a hit or miss situation because a lot of
Yeah.
times the chemistry comes from within the you and the buddy. I mean, you may find somebody on Craigslist who's an excellent guitarist or drummer or vocalist or whatever, but if you don't have chemistry as people within the realm of the creation of music, it doesn't work without the chemistry, and you got to gravitate towards that because the chemistry. Just because he doesn't play like Yngwie, the way he approaches music or plays could be the founding of something completely new. So you just never know. So that's a hard one. That's a hard one to answer, man. And obviously, stick with it. Or I don't know. Where do you hang out? Where are your places that you go to, or or where you see bands? I mean, I don't even know if there are places where you can really just go and see bands anymore. It's just not the same.
It really isn't post-COVID at all.
Yeah. I mean, I know we used to just go downtown, Deep Ellum, and it didn't make a shit. We'd just go up and down the street and go in and out of a venue, either free or, $5 cover, and be like, holy shit, these guys are great. It's hard to run across stuff like that. And then you go somewhere like that and you find out this band you love, they're like, well, it's sad to say, but we're going to see just last time Joey's playing guitar for us tonight, and you're like, man, dude, I play guitar, whatever, stuff like that, I don't know if that's even out. I don't even know if that's an option anymore.
I mean, it is, but it's like most people nowadays, I don't know. I was just reading about this because I'm always kind of reading the trades a little bit. And,
yeah,
it's like people would rather spend $200 to see some band that really should just stop. They're willing to do that, but they're not willing. I was trying to put it as nice as I could.
I know
some of them, you know what I mean? Yeah. Some of them it's just like, come on. Just, you got nothing new. You're not bringing anything new. Let's just stop. Yeah. But instead of paying $5 to see, let's say 4 really good local acts, maybe and out-of-staters on the bill there, and you could discover something new, that's in the underground. It's like, I don't know why people don't do that anymore. 25 years ago, people would just flock to clubs to see live music.
And it didn't really even matter who was there. You just went.
Yeah.
And that's how you discovered shit. Well, I don't know if we're dating ourselves, but just going to the record store. When I was a teenager, go to the record store and just, if I had $20, I could buy 4 albums and I would just pick shit that looked cool, and then it didn't matter if this was no good. That's how I discovered Slayer. I bought the first one just because of it. Celtic Frost, I bought that for the cover, Armored Saint, I bought it for the cover. It's just, I wouldn't have known. It's cool. $7.99. All right, sure, why not? Then you go.
Covers were everything.
Huh?
I said covers were everything.
Yeah.
I bought every damn record that. Oh yeah, I mean that was all. If it had a really cool cover that like drew me in, I could always tell what was shit and what wasn't just by the artwork. If the artwork was like, holy shit, what is this? Or it's got some like random car and a girl on it. It's like, oh, that's got to be ass,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I stayed away from that, Sammy Hagar.
And then labels like at the time, Metal Blade or even Combat.
Oh yeah.
Combat. I would buy an album just because it was on Combat Records. It didn't matter if I knew anything. I knew that Combat put it out. It had to be good. You could trust Metal Blade and Combat, and who else was around back then, where it's just like you could, if it was on that label, it was going to be at least worth your money you put out on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Another question here for you. Were your lyrics for Hereafter written specifically for the album?
There again, it was, those are personal lyrics. It's lyrics that I had, that I didn't have. I actually wrote a lot of those songs while I was sitting at the studio, while I was at Bill Matoyer's hanging out on the couch. I had stuff, bits and pieces that I wanted to put together. So I guess I really kind of kept stuff that I jot down when I think of stuff in a notebook. And I, again, it comes to feelings and emotions at the time and stuff that I had. It's like, this will work. I'm going to change this, and I'm going to make this the chorus. I'm going to add that. And then it was stuff that I already had in my head, and I just put it on paper. And that's where those came from. So was they specifically for that album? Yes. But was there anything behind it for that album? It was me just spitting my lyrics out, my words. Well, that sounds horrible. Yeah, I was just spitting shit out. No, but yeah, it was another, like Alone. The lyrics are personal.
Yeah.
And
it absolutely fucking shows. So going out of Candlemass, now we kind of go into one that I am now kind of like found myself possibly being a part of, is the D. Gelsamina project. So I had him on the show a number of months ago, and that self-titled solo record is out, and he asked you to do the songs. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it goes a ways back, where he asked me to be part of his Lyrica project, and we had talked a few times off and on back then, which shit, that does go back. And nothing really came of it. And he was, every once in a while he'd say something to me. He's like, I still really want to do something with you. Are you down? I'm like, yeah, man, anytime. Just let me know. And so fast forward to that, this new release, and he said, well, I got stuff, and I was living in Phoenix at the time, and he sent me a few tracks while I was there. We worked on those, or I did In Tune by Choice, and I had already done that one, and it was sounding good. And then there was a little hiatus, and then ended up coming here back to Texas, and all of it's done. So I booked, or I didn't book. It's kind of our studio, Blackout Studios here in Texas, Midlothian, Texas. Kurt Joy, Steve Mosley, they big hand in that. Recorded that album there, and I kind of lost my train of thought there. Yes, it was done. It was. We did it.
It's because you just got so much stuff that you're always doing, man. All kinds of projects, which we'll get to shameless plug moment here in a minute. But definitely, I would say overall, just from myself learning these tracks, very different from a lot of what you've done in certain songs. Just rhythmically, stylistically. So, what was your approach like with this?
Let's see. Listen to it, like it, sing on it.
Most of the time it's just that simple.
I mean, that's really kind of what, if you're asking for the breakdown, that's pretty much the breakdown. And usually what happens with me, though, is like, I'll get the vibe from the song, which is how I will approach singing on it, or you're, making mouth noise on those beautiful guitar riffs, is just the vibe I get from it. Like, because with Andy stuff, he's got the lyrics and he's got the music. Everything's done. I'm just like the puppet that goes in there and goes, hey. And so I just take what lyrics and song, and he's like, do your thing. So I'd listen to the song a few times. I don't overkill it because I don't want to, I still like having that fresh feeling with the music. So familiar with it. And then I will just go in there. Okay, Kurt, hit, let's go. He goes, I just need about 30-second lead in. Let's go. And then I go with the emotions and I guess the vibes that I get from the tune with the lyrics in front of me, and then just put it together like that. And that's what I do.
I just really love his way of blending doom and thrash together.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
yeah, I mean,
it'll be real slow for a second, and you're just vibing like all the way through, and then as soon as you're done with your line, all of a sudden, and
yeah. I get some. I don't know. I'm trying to specifically, like you said, I so much in my head specifically think of something, but I get some like Scorpionic vibes and just kind of some proggy stuff every now and then, and just kind of there's like it eludes me at the moment, but there's like some bluesy interlude type of stuff too. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's
a little bit
like,
of funk too.
Yeah. Don't. But
it's like,
yeah,
wow,
and that's what I love about it. I love that he kind of hits on a lot of things, but it's not like he's just hitting on it just to hit on it. I'm just gonna do like a blues riff here, and then I got to do some prog stuff. I'm gonna put it here. It just kind of goes there, and I like that.
Yeah, it flows.
It's smooth
like,
transition.
It flows really well.
Yeah, it's smooth transition there. So it's
absolutely
totally cool. Love it.
And like we were talking before the show, hopefully we can get some shows together for it. That would be that'd be
yeah, totally. I'd love to. Like I said, like I'm saying, I don't want this to sit on the shelf. I would love for us to get out there and him be able to showcase, what he's created. Let him showcase because you don't just do that shit overnight. He needs to get up there and pow. Eat this, because it's good stuff. It's good quality stuff. He's a great musician.
Speak of the fucking devil. Robert is far from just a puppet. He adds his unique metal personality to everything he sings. It's a good part of what makes him a world-class vocalist. And I couldn't agree more.
Oh, well, thank you.
You put your all into it like every single fucking time.
Oh, well, yeah, I goddamn guarantee you that. You ain't no half-assing going on around here. But
no,
not at all.
Not in the least.
If you're going to do something, do it well. And, or at least pretend you do it well. Act like it. It's like, no, I'm good. I got this shit. I don't know what I'm doing. I wouldn't tell.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, and thank you. I appreciate that.
Hell yeah. Is there like a particular range, because your range is so broad, you can go super high, you can be right in the middle, and you can, get some of those more, like you said, guttural type things. What is your favorite, most comfortable vocal level to be at? Or is there one that you prefer more than the other? Let's put it that way.
Oh, good Lord. Let's see. We'll just dadgummit. I'm lost. I got so much fucking shit I can't think of all of it right now.
So sorry.
All right, somebody tell me what was the album Falling was on?
Well, one more time.
Falling. What? Come on.
Shit, I can't remember.
Somebody knows. Somebody's got to know, because I was going to use that as an example. That damn album. Haunting the Obscure.
There we go.
Yeah, when we did that album, it went from the first two with the kind of stratosphere stuff when I really didn't even know what I was doing. You know, I
Mm.
was just kind of doing shit. My battery's fixing to die. Hang on. Um, Doing, you know, flavor of the day type stuff. But with that album, I I think I would say I found my niche, and I liked it. That's what I like about yeah, there we go. That's what I like about the why am I on pause? There we go. Whatever. That's what I like about the I guess the ability to do all that. So it's not just pigeonholed into one thing. You know, I'm grateful that I can pop it up here or do some guttural Cookie Monster vocals over here, or just kind of middle of the road or soft and, you know, not emotional, but just lethargic. Um, be able to do all of that because I wouldn't want to just do one style anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if I answered anybody's question or if I even said anything uh, halfway comprehensible at all.
No, no, that actually, because I'm just always fascinated because I, you know, as a music teacher in the past, you know, I've had to teach the, you know, how to sing the scales and stuff like that. I can always match pitch, but I could just never find my voice, like what was comfortable. Everything just felt like it was so difficult to do, and your voice is so unique and just amazing. So I was just curious, like, was there a particular range, you know, that you always felt most comfortable doing?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, stuff like Haunting, The Obscure, Ninth Day, more upper mid range is I not because well, it's easier from the stratosphere stuff, but I feel it more there. Do you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I think like the high stuff is more of a sprinkling on top of the cake, but the meat of it comes from that register.
Gotcha.
And then even with the Cookie Monster stuff, or even the Lowe talky speaky stuff, that's more just sprinklings on the cake. The rest, the meat of it's right here. But taking these other two elements and putting them in with it adds to the whole depth and range of what's going on.
Absolutely. Uh, let's see here. Oh yeah, I absolutely agree, Andy. Andy says it says a lot about Robert. Sounds as good today as 17 years ago. I couldn't agree more.
Thank you.
And Todd said through the darkest hour. Was that what we were looking for?
Yes. Thank you, Todd.
Damn it. Todd
God,
for the win.
Damn it. Yes, Todd for the win. That was the album where I did really find myself because I didn't want to be up there in Geddy Lee land for the rest of my life, you know.
That's got to take a lot.
And
that's
I mean,
not like a
trust
head
me though, I
voice,
love
is
me
it?
some early Rush, and I love Geddy Lee, but I did not want to, like I said, be in Geddy Lee land for the rest of my life. So I was still finding myself. I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? This is two albums into this, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Fuck, shit, what the fuck? And so I don't know. It's just like one of those things where I just kind of, all right, yeah, I'm grooving with this. You know, it's kind of like you get that vibe when you're driving. It's like, all right, put cruise control on 73.5 and not quite 74 miles an hour, but right there. And it just felt right. But luckily, was able to still do the other things around it. So it's like, yeah, that's it. If I can sit right here, I'm going to sit right here. And if I decide to stick my arm out the window, I will. You know, and if not, I'm going to keep on cruising, stick my arm, slap, haha, and then put my arm back in.
Oh yeah, and it's really kind of like a case by case basis, you know. If it feels like that the song is going there, if there's
again,
this huge
build
up,
don't do it just to do it.
Yeah,
people do stuff and they'll do it just to do it. Don't do it just to do it. If it doesn't require, stratosphere, don't put it there just because you can. If it, don't do Cookie Monster just because you can.
So many vocalists do that too.
Huh?
So many vocalists do that very thing, I think.
Yeah,
do it just to do it, you know?
Again, that's not what writing music or being creative is about. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you need to do it 24/7. Show some creative responsibility and break your mold for a second, and you'll be surprised.
Absolutely. And you've definitely given us classic after classic. That's for sure.
No, thank you, thank you.
So, what are some of the things that you're working on right now? Like other projects that you can talk about, you know?
Well, I've got a few. It's like right now there's a project called Lucid Dreaming, another one called Paradogmata. Obviously, Andy's is the full album out now, and
Right.
it should be obtained. Definitely, it's definitely worth it.
Please.
I mean, seriously, I don't have enough praise for Andy with his his ability, his creativeness, and what I know that he
Amazing
personally
songwriting.
puts into what he's doing. I mean, just like, I got all this, and here you go. Here's my heart, and you want this lung, you can have that too. I know he put it. Anyway, he deserves it. And then Lost
Yep.
Requiem. I've just recently done some stuff with Lost Requiem. It's that stuff is mostly co-vocals, and there's a couple of tracks where I do the complete track. This stuff like the Lost Requiem, Paradogmata, Lucid Dreaming. These were people that knew people and asked, hey, can we more or less, can we hire you? Would you be willing to do this project? Yada yada. Well, yeah, shoot me some material. Let me have an ear, and not that I'm king of the world and I choose what's right and good, but yeah. I mean, a lot of these projects that I've done, the people have sent me their music. And I'm like, I got it, I got that. And like even with my manager, like when she gets stuff, it's like I can already hear your voice on it. I'm like, all right, well, shoot me a copy, and I get it. I'm like, yeah. I can see myself singing that. I won't do anything that's forced. I don't do anything that's forced. And I hear it, I'm like, that's it. Like with this Lost Requiem, All Is Revealed was one of the last ones that just got out, and I'm super pleased with it. A lot of this stuff you probably wouldn't expect, but I totally approve of the material and the music and the form. So with a lot of it's co-vocals, like with Paradogmata, I do a track called "The Princess in the Tower," and it's a story about King Edward V and his brother of Shrewsbury, 1483.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the conceptual album with Lucid Dreaming. It's just a lot of stuff where people have just asked, and it's like, yeah, I totally love what you're doing, man. I would be happy to sing on that, just and get in touch and approach me. I am approachable. You can say, hey, would you do this? And like, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, that's how Grief Collector started. It's just like, I'm gonna ask, and I was like, that's cool stuff. Let's do it. I mean, because that's me. Fuck it, let's do it. I mean, that's my motto. Fuck it, let's do it. I mean, I appreciate the music side of anything more than anything else. It's like, I don't care. Fuck it, let's do it. You want to do it? Yeah. You get a hold of me? Go ahead. You want to get a hold of my manager? Go ahead. Fucking, I'm up for a project. If you think you have a project you want to throw at me, let's do it. Let me see. Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to get a yes if you don't ask.
Exactly. And like I said, I'll say it again. Lucid Dreaming, Paradogmata, the Andy, Lost Requiem. These are I'm proud to put my name on these pieces of this material. The music. Well, I guess I'm attracted to what they've done musically more so than anything else, and I'm just like, I feel the music. And talking like that's just weird, but I mean, I feel it. It's in me.
For sure. I mean,
it works.
I don't know. Me as a drummer, it's like somebody put something to me. The initial riff. It's like if that guitar riff just grabs me, and I'm like, even if it's got like a dummy drum track to it.
Sure.
Like,
I mean,
I can get that feeling if it.
You can see beyond the, the drum machine. I know, I get it. And some people say, like, it's just, it's just a scratch guitar. I know, but I can see where it's going. That's all I need is just ding, 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 ding. It's good enough for me. Let's work with that. Speaking of, off the cuff stuff, I did another project that I was thinking about that I did was this guy, Brian, as Atheist Alien. Atheist Alien. It's what it is I do a track called Stone Tape Theory, which basically it's what he's calling spoken doom metal, and basically that's what it is. I it's like an audible, it's like doom metal audible. It's Atheist Alien Stone Tape Theory, and that project is out right now too. Honestly, I don't know where it's at, but I'm sure you can look it up. But it's a different project that I got involved with, and I quite like it. It's pretty cool. It's different, but I like it. And again, it's speaky bits, more.
Yeah,
I don't do any vocalizing.
There's no real formula or rules or anything like that. I think in doom metal, other than it just has to. It brings a heaviness that fast music can't do. I don't know. That's the way I've always said it.
I mean, that's true. It has its place. I'm gonna go throw on some Slayer, but for another thing, I may throw on some Sabbath or Trouble or whomever it might be at the time. It has a place, and how the fuck is that? Seriously? Hang on? Why is my battery not charging? I may be dead here in a second.
Oh no!
Fucking technology! Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
As we know, technology is not our friend.
It started off like that. Okay, well, let's see. This looks so professional, man. God damn it.
That's why, it's known as Reaper's Underground. Anything goes.
Well, we'll see. It should be charging. Fucking laptop's on the blink, so that's why I'm using the phone. All right, we'll be sitting here. Yeah, it's crapped out. Anyway, moving on.
So, yeah, definitely everybody out there in Black Flame Land, check out everything that Robert is doing. And then
let's run it down one more time. Lucid Dreaming, Paradogmata, Andy's project, the Sic Itura ad Astra, which is basically thus our way to the stars, and then Lost Requiem and Atheist Alien. Plus, there are a few other things that are not even announced yet. And underneath all of that, Disciple of Doom is still working on my own stuff. So that's just the constant underground stream that's constantly flowing. So
very
that's
excited
what we have right now.
to,
I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing enough, but I need to maybe pick up some more projects because it's not doing enough.
Well, like I said, hopefully, it'll be great if we could get some shows together for DJ Samina, and then you're getting back with Solitude Aeternus in 2024. What's the name of the festival?
It's Hell's Heroes.
That's it.
Yeah, it's going to be killer, man. I was trying to see if I still got that sitting here, but let me see if I find this right quick. Where is it? It's like, Hell's Heroes. It's down there in Houston. Got bands like Sodom, Queensryche, Candlemass, Solitude, Dora is going to be there. Hellstar from Houston. There's just, the list goes on and on of just killer bands that are going to be. The lineup for this thing is just amazing. If you can't find somebody you like there, and I'm not saying that just to push or promote the show, I'm sitting here going, damn, man, I'm going to stay the whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of serious
heavy hitters
on it,
like
on this
every
thing.
Day. Yeah.
And it really is selling fast. Right now, I heard the other day, right now, it's like 60 to 70% sold already.
Wow.
So that's the numbers I'm getting. But you know how that goes. But that's the numbers I've heard. I'm surprised, not surprised that it's already at that. And just, Sodom, Queensryche, Candlemass, Solitude, Doro, Hellstar, and just the list goes on and on. If you can't see somebody you like there, then you don't like anybody. You just
Exactly.
you just don't like anybody.
Nope. So y'all better get that on your calendars for 2024.
It's a
Hell's
one-off. It's in
Heroes.
Houston, but the venues,
Or
the venue there, that is a really nice place too. So it's worth it. If you want to travel to Houston, nice venue, should be good. Should be really good.
Shit, that's only 16 hours for me. I just might make the trip.
Where are you located?
Nebraska.
Sorry, no, I'm kidding. I've drove through Nebraska.
I get that a lot.
We were with Fate, right? We played a show at Salt Lake City. Right. The next show, well, because that whole Middle America thing, there's just not a whole lot going on there. I'm sure you know that, right? So there's not a whole lot going on through there.
It's a bit different these days.
Well, you're talking 97, right?
Right.
Yeah,
there wasn't shit going on then.
No, this is 97. So we played a show. We did East Coast, drove all the way across to the West Coast. Last show on the West Coast was in Salt Lake City. Next night was in St. Louis, right? So we had to drive from Salt Lake City all the way down to St. Louis nonstop. I think we were on the road for like 28 hours nonstop. Thank God for the toilet I built. And we did that whole trek across Nebraska, all the way across from that one end to Omaha. And went pow. I was like, oh my God, does this ever stop? And I drive in Texas and it never stops. This was just Oh my Lord. That's one
I
of these
still
things.
feel like that.
Huh?
Because I'm originally from Ohio, so.
Oh, are you now?
Yeah.
Cincinnati? Where? What part of Ohio?
Oh man, Northeast Ohio, right there, Canton, Akron, Massillon.
Okay, I got you. Yeah,
about 45 minutes from Cleveland.
Okay, had a few shows. Harpo, is it Harpo's in Cleveland, or am I getting that?
I do believe so.
Cleveland, huh?
Yep, I do believe so.
Yeah, big theater, old theater there. Did a couple of shows there. Not a bad thing. But yeah. So Houston. It's a good deal. I can't remember. It's like White Music Hall or something like that. I'm going to see if I can get this right. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.
Nonetheless, if you're a doom metal fan or a fan of any of the bands on this, all of them, should love all of them, this is definitely the show for y'all.
Yeah, definitely.
Did have one question here.
White Oak Music Hall. There you go. Now I get my kickback.
Todd asks, do you get into death doom or funeral doom bands like Ahab or Hooded Menace?
No, I can't say that I really do. Not so much.
A little bit more on the extreme side.
Well, yeah, no, it's not so much that I don't like it. It's just I just don't gravitate that way so much. I mean, I like me some good drone every once in a while, but I still got that rock and roll in me, with the Sabbathy, and like even Trouble has some catchy, jammy riffs, but then it's got that down, and then we'll cross over children to the other side, lost little children. Actually, that was one of my least favorite albums by Trouble. Was that one? Did I just say that out loud? I did, didn't I?
You sure did. Austin says, y'all should try driving through Boston, Massachusetts. Talk about ghetto drivers we have.
Oh, no. Fuck Boston.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, well, and the only reason I say that is because we played at a club that was right by the stadium, the baseball stadium, right? And we get on this fucking loop around the fucking stadium and couldn't get off the damn. There's the club. But how do we get there? There it is again. We could see the motherfucker, but we couldn't get to it. And we just kept on and on. And there's baseball. Good game. Well, I guess we'll just watch all 9 innings as we just keep going around this damn thing. It was
Right.
It was nuts,
it's like,
man.
Whose idea was that to make it almost impossible to get off at said point?
Yeah, it was nuts. So that's what I don't even remember the venue. I just remember we finally got there after we fucking got off the highway. Okay, shit, we're here. Let's play. Damn it, you know.
Oh shit. So one question that I always ask all of my guests, and I heard through the grapevine you might be a bit of a horror fan. So what would be your top 3 favorite horror movies of all time?
Oh, good God, man. See now you're talking to me like you're asking me what's my favorite album or my favorite song. It changes every day, you know? Because, like, all right, let's just make it relevant. You know, just the other day, for the first time I saw Leatherface, the latest one.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. It took me a minute to get into it, but I finally got into it, and it was like him as a kid, and yada yada. And then it reminded me of how much I loved the original 1973 Texas
74.
Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, to me, that's a classic. Hey, that's a classic.
It is.
The remakes and the redos and the start overs were all good. I think the original had more of just an honest horror feel to it, as opposed to just hack and slash. Now, I love me some hack and slash all day long, right? But I like it. I like it sprinkled with, I guess, the psychological side of it, and the hack and slash. If you're gonna cut an arm off, let me see it get cut off. Don't, you know? I want to see it go. No fooling me. I want to see it go. You know.
That's right.
But let's see. I guess that would be tops. Damn, man. See, this is what happens every time when they ask me songs, or like, what songs influenced you? And I'll say, well, this. And then I get off done with the interview. And I'm like, fuck, I forgot that one. That one influenced me the most. But I didn't say it because I was talking about this one. Damn it. Let's see. What's one that maybe I've seen? You know what? It's not. I don't know if you call it a hack and slash or horror, or how you classify your genre. Just like, you know, metal or doom metal or death metal or black metal. How do you classify it? Like the first Saw. I love Saw. The first one, I must have watched it 552 times. You know,
I feel that.
I love me stuff like that. I could try to get avant-garde, but not so much. Like maybe Suspiria.
Yep.
You know, and you gotta love the bad Italian B horror flicks. You know, you gotta love those.
They were legendary.
I know, you have to, man. You have to. What was another one I was thinking of just now? And it was an Italian one. I saw it in the theater. I think I was all of 12 years old. I probably shouldn't have been in there. I don't know how I got in there, but they were always known.
We always
found the camera would always come right up to their eyes. The camera was always right there. You know, that zoom.
Oh yeah, because you wanted to see the fright, the fear within their eyes.
What's another one? I don't name something, and it might spark my
like from the 70s, you had like the movie Zombie, the original Amityville Horror.
Now see, when I first saw Amityville, what was it, 1980, 79, 80? I thought, oh my God, it scared the shit out of me. Now I watch it now and I just kind of laugh and go, that scared me. Or like even Hellraiser. And I was like, oh my God. You watch it now, it's like, to me, it's like, that's okay, I guess. That scared me. Well, you were 13.
I just spend my time rooting for the bad guy.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, it was fun. Amityville, there was one during that time that came out. They didn't get a lot of, I would say, press, not literal press, but one called The Entity, where a woman was possessed. Do you remember that one at all? It was early 80s, 81, 82. It was called The Entity. That one kind of didn't scare me, but I thought, damn. And maybe for the time, maybe if I watched it now, I'd be like, well, that's crap. which, but at the time,
The
I thought it was
Exorcist
really
never
cool. It was
gets
just
old.
about a possession type of thing. Not necessarily, not that the woman was possessed, but the entity was in the house.
Right.
What else? I don't know.
The
I got into
Exorcist.
the paranormal flicks for a while until they just started overdoing it. And I was like, Paranormal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, the first couple were kind of, it's kind of like, oh shit. That, I like stuff like that. God, I can never, when I'm put on the spot, my brain goes, no, you don't. You know nothing. You know absolutely nothing.
You had to enjoy Evil Dead.
Of course. You know what? You know where I saw Evil Dead for the first time, and I can't believe that it ever even actually happened. Back up in, I think I was what year did that come out? Early '80s, right?
Yep.
I don't know. You remember high school back in the day? They had an assembly, and it was like Saturday night. This is Boyd, Texas, for God's sake. They had like the barn dance at the gym, at the barn dance at the school. So
I
all
love
50
it.
people that lived in Boyd went there, and that night they decided to have a movie. They put on the big screen in the gym and everything, and so everybody's up in the bleachers and watching it. And Evil Dead was the movie they picked. And I'm sitting there.
Wow.
I know, right? I can't see that happening today. And I'm just like, holy fuck, this is amazing. And now I look back on it and go, how the fuck did whoever picked this get it past the council at the school to let it be played for all the kids at school? Because anybody could go, because this was the barn dance in Boyd, and it was Evil Dead. And I've been in love with that movie ever since, man. I'll watch it anytime it comes on. Now, what was the other one? There was another one. I just tried to watch it the other night. It was another Evil Dead. I think it was another
Evil Dead
2.0.
Rise.
Huh?
Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah. Like the lady.
That was pretty good. Surprisingly.
I know. I didn't finish it. Honestly, I didn't get through with it. But yeah, I did actually put that on there. I didn't even know it was out, and I was flipping through stuff like, okay, go. So I watched most of that one. But it doesn't have the flair that the first one does. And even Evil Dead 2
hard
is
to beat the
still
original.
right there, It's still solid because they bring the book back and, the whole skin, the flesh, it's like talking to you. It's cool. Cool stuff.
Yeah, I really think that one of the things that made those movies so good is music was better in a lot of cases. And the practical effects.
Yeah, right.
Made it feel more real.
Yeah, because in a sense, it was more real because you had to figure out how to make that look real. So you're actually using physical props. I don't know shit about making movies, but I know nowadays, there's so much CGI and stuff going on. But when you've got somebody sitting there going, how am I going to make it look like this arm is cut off? And you got to stand there and pretend it's getting cut off. There's just so much more physically involved in it than just, all right, freeze. We're going to black screen you or green screen you or whatever the hell. And then we're going to do this. Okay, cool. But there was more involved with it. It was more hands-on. And if it looked well, you can tell when there's some bad ones too. It's like, what do you do? Just get like a chicken, thaw it out and smash it? What is that?
Austin says, how do you feel about the Insidious films?
I do like those. Yeah, I do like that. And The Conjuring. I do like the Conjuring ones. Those are, that's The Conjuring. I even like the Annabelle stuff, I mean, I like it. They're fun. Fun? Is it supposed to be fun? But you know what I mean.
Sure.
Yeah, it's fun.
Absolutely. It's fun. Just not the Nun. Didn't care for the Nun.
The what?
Didn't care for the Nun.
Oh, the Nun? No, I haven't seen that one. But
I wouldn't waste your time.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm marking it. I'm taking it off the list right now and burning the TV. It's not gonna happen.
Oh man. So I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. You got so much fucking shit going on. It is unreal. But
I'm just
you know,
grateful to have what's going on, and I'm glad that people would. Hey, I'm grateful that people even want me to be a part of their project. You know, it's like, fuck yeah. You know, so that's nice that somebody would actually want me to be a part of their project. So, you know, it's cool. But yeah, it's I'm glad to be doing it. And like I said at the beginning of this thing, we're just not getting started, brother. I ain't done. I got so much shit going on. It's like we got to keep building this mountain. Somebody got to be up there at the top of
absolutely.
that mountain. You know, why not
And
me?
and you know, the last 20 years, 30 years, shit. Now that I think about it, I mean, you have made such a mark in the doom genre and have contributed so much that, I mean, it's no surprise that people are like, please, could you sing on anything? you know, that we're doing because
I'm
you
just
know, we just
grateful that I
loved your
can.
work.
So yeah, I'm grateful for it, man. It's let's just keep doing it, man. If you can make it, we can do it. That's all. Well, I'm not trying to plug for anything. I'm just saying, you know, again, that's my fucking motto. It's just like, fuck it, let's do it, fuck it. You know,
Absolutely.
no VIP going on here.
And special thanks to everybody that tuned in tonight from all over, it seems. You guys have been awesome. Questions have been awesome. Lots of decorum, especially in the demon realm that the underground lives in. Totally appreciate that. And what's your lasting message for all your fans out there?
Just again, I'm going to go right back to just the appreciation factor. I appreciate fans. I appreciate still being able to be relevant. It's a great thing, and Jesus Christ, I don't even know how to, how to say it. Just I appreciate you. You know, I don't. Thanks, thank you. It's just keep rolling with it and keep it alive, man, and stick to your roots, and and drink coffee and stuff. Good time.
Just keep on creating, damn it.
Keep on creating.
Yeah, don't
ever let that creative bug die. Don't ever, man. You got to put some water on that every day, even if it's just this much. You just don't let it die.
Absolutely. And if you think you're too old to do it,
man, don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Just run with it.
Passion.
Do it. Just do
That's
it.
what it's all about. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Robert, for joining us tonight. And, as you're getting ready to lay it down, and you got Robert's voice conjuring you in your earphones, just always remember, stay heavy.
Bam.